To the 60-year-old who feels they failed in life, I love you just as you are. My dear child, sit with me for a moment. Just breathe. You do not need to perform. You do not need to pretend. And you certainly do not need to hide your face from me. I am speaking specifically to you today, the 60-year-old who woke up this morning with a heavy heart, looking into the mirror and wondering where all the time went. You carry a silent script in your mind, a quiet, persistent whisper that tells you that somehow, somewhere along the way, you failed in life. I see the way those words echo in the quiet corners of your mind. I feel the physical weight they press upon your chest, but I am here right now, sitting beside you in the stillness of your room, to tell you a truth that shatters all of those dark whispers. I love you just as you are, not as you wish you were, not as you thought you would be by now, just as you are, right in this very second. If my words brought you peace today, please like this video and subscribe to the channel so we can walk together every day. 60 years is a profound journey. It is a vast tapestry woven with thousands of days, millions of choices, and countless seasons of quiet endurance. I know the exact toll those decades have taken on your spirit. I see the memories that ambush you when the house is too silent. I know about the relationships that did not turn out the way you prayed they would, the financial stability you worked so hard for but feels like it slipped through your fingers, and that deep, aching feeling that you missed your true purpose. The world tells you that by 60, you should have it all together. A perfect family, a secure retirement, a legacy tied up with a neat bow. And because your reality looks different, a profound, crushing guilt has taken root in your soul. You look back at the crossroads of your youth and middle age. You stare at the mistakes, at the words you wish you could take back, and the chances you were too afraid to take. You carry this sense of failure like a heavy, soaked winter coat that you never take off, even in the warmth of my presence. You feel that you have let others down, and worse, that you have let me down. But I want you to know something deeply important, something you must engrave upon your heart. I was there for every single moment of those 60 years. When you cried silently in the shower so your family would not hear your fear, I was the one weeping right there with you. When you gave up your own dreams to put food on the table and keep the lights on, I saw that quiet, beautiful sacrifice. The world may not have handed you a trophy for your endurance, but I have kept a careful, loving record of every tear you shed and every time you chose to keep walking when your heart was breaking in two. You feel like a failure because you are measuring your life by a ruler the world created, a ruler made of money, status, flawless decisions, and perfect relationships. That is not my ruler. That is not how your Creator looks at the beautiful, scarred masterpiece of your life. The antagonist of your peace, that relentless accuser of your soul, wants you to stay isolated in this modern age. He wants you trapped in a silent house of regrets, believing that the relentless march of time has run out, that your story is over, and that it ends in defeat. But the enemy of your peace is a liar. I need you to hear my voice louder than the ticking of the clock. The relentless passage of time does not diminish your worth. It simply brings you closer to my grace. You are so exhausted from carrying the burden of what-ifs and if-onlys. You have been the strong one for so long, trying to hold the fragile pieces of your life and your family together, and now you are simply, utterly tired. It is okay to be tired. It is entirely normal to feel the profound weight of 60 years of living in a broken, demanding world. I am not disappointed in you. Let me say that again, letting it sink into the deepest, most hidden wounds of your heart. I am not disappointed in you. I look at you and I see a beloved child who has fought a hard battle. I see a soul that is desperate for rest. You have spent decades trying to earn your place, trying to fix your mistakes, trying to prove to the mirror that you are worthy of love. But my love is not a wage you earn. It is a gift I freely give. Lay down your arms. You do not need to fight this war against your own memories anymore. The guilt you harbor for the times you stumbled is a burden you were never meant to carry this far down the road. As you sit here with me, just let the walls come down. Let the tears fall if they need to. You have carried this heavy, invisible backpack for so long that you forgot what it feels like to stand up straight and breathe in the light. Today, in this moment, we are stopping by the side of the road. I am reaching out to gently take those straps off your bruised shoulders. You are safe here with me. You are fully seen, entirely known, and completely, unconditionally loved. My precious friend, let us look gently together at how you arrived at this heavy place. I know you often sit in the quiet of your home, watching the afternoon light fade, and ask yourself how 6 decades slipped through your fingers so quickly. It feels like just yesterday you were young, standing on the threshold of adulthood, your heart brimming with untamed dreams and endless possibilities. You thought you had so much time, but life did not hand you a roadmap, did it? The years turned into a rushing river, sweeping you along in its current of responsibilities, bills, crises, and daily survival. You did not set out to become this exhausted. You did not wake up one morning and consciously choose to carry the crushing weight of regret. It happened slowly, almost imperceptibly, one day at a time. The anatomy of your burden is not made of one catastrophic failure. Rather, it is woven from 1,000 tiny compromises and unexpected sorrows. A relationship that slowly fractured despite your best efforts. A career path that became about putting food on the table rather than fulfilling your passion. A sudden illness, a financial setback, a goodbye you were not ready to say. With every blow, the world demanded that you keep going, keep producing, keep smiling. And so, you did. You pushed your own needs to the background to care for your children, your aging parents, or your spouse. You became a master at swallowing your grief and hiding your fear because someone had to be the strong one. The relentless demands of modern life kept you so busy looking out for everyone else that you completely lost sight of yourself. In the process of surviving these 60 years, you began to build walls. You did not build them out of malice, but out of a desperate need to protect your bruised heart. Every time trust was broken, you added a brick. Every time you felt misunderstood or overlooked, you added another. Now, in your 60th year, those protective walls have turned into a quiet prison. The house feels emptier, the phone rings less often. The modern world spins so fast around you, obsessed with youth and relentless achievement, leaving you feeling invisible and left behind. This isolation breeds a profound silence, and in that silence, the voice of the antagonist, your own pride, your guilt, and the unforgiving phantom of time, speaks the loudest. It tells you that your mistakes are permanent, that your best days are buried in the past, and that the distance between who you are and who you wanted to be is an unbridgeable chasm. But I want to gently dismantle those walls right now, not with force, but with the warmth of genuine, unyielding love. Do you remember the intimate conversation I had with my closest friends, recorded in the Gospel of John? The night before I gave everything for you, I looked into their anxious, tired eyes so much like yours right now, and I told them, "As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love." That was not just a beautiful sentiment spoken thousands of years ago. It is a living, breathing promise that I am speaking directly to you today. I am inviting you to remain in my love, not in your regrets, not in your perceived failures, but in my genuine, unchanging love. You see, the world taught you that love and value are things you must earn through success and flawless living. Because your life feels messy and unresolved at 60, you have convinced yourself that you are disqualified from peace. But my genuine love does not operate on a ledger. I do not tally up your missteps or subtract points for the dreams you could not realize. You lost yourself in the relentless machinery of life, trying so hard to be everything to everyone and slowly starving your own soul. The pain you feel now is simply your spirit crying out for the home it was meant to reside in, my presence. You have not ruined your life, my beloved child. You simply grew tired on a very long, very difficult journey, and you forgot that you never had to walk it alone. I have been walking right beside you all along, waiting for the moment you would finally stop striving. Look up and let me carry the heavy load. Look at me now, my beloved. Lift your weary head from your hands and look gently into my eyes. We have walked through the valley of your regrets, and we have looked honestly at the heavy stones of guilt you have gathered over these 60 years. But now, it is time to leave those stones by the riverbed. I want to show you the turning point of your story, the enemy of your soul, that relentless whisper of time slipping away, wants you to believe that the final chapter of your life has already been written in the ink of failure. The world tells you that if you have not achieved greatness, wealth, or perfect harmony by the age of 60, it is simply too late. But I am not bound by the clocks and calendars of this fragile world. I am the creator of time, and my grace does not operate on a deadline. In my kingdom, it is never, ever too late for you. You look at the years ahead and feel a profound sense of dread, wondering what use your life can be now. You think that because your physical energy is changing, or because your career has ended, your purpose has vanished. But my child, the most beautiful work I do in a human heart often happens in the quiet, golden hours of life. I do not need your frantic running. I do not need your exhausting achievements. What I desire now is your presence, your open hands, and your willingness to let me love you. The grace I am offering you right now, in this very room, is a divine solution to the math of the world. The world says you need 50 years to build a legacy. I say that one single moment of true, surrendered peace in my arms echoes into eternity. The time you have remaining on this earth is not a leftover scrap. It is a profound, sacred offering, entirely sufficient for the redemption and deep joy you have been longing for. To receive this grace, you must do something that feels incredibly hard, but is absolutely necessary. You must forgive yourself. You are holding on to a standard of perfection that I never asked you to carry. You look back at your mistakes as a parent, your missteps as a spouse, or the financial decisions that went awry, and you act as your own judge and jury. You lock yourself in a prison of unforgiveness, punishing yourself daily for not knowing back then what you know now. But I took all of that punishment upon myself. When I stretched out my arms on the cross, I saw every mistake you would make at 20, at 40, and at 60, and I said, "It is finished." Why do you insist on paying a debt that I have already settled in full? It breaks my heart to see you dragging the chains of a pardoned prisoner. Drop the key. Step out of the cell. I have already declared you free. This is your turning point. This is the moment where we rewrite the narrative of your life. You are not a 60-year-old failure. You are a 60-year-old survivor, a warrior who has weathered storms that would have broken others. Your wrinkles are not signs of defeat. They are the beautiful, etched map of a life deeply lived, of laughter, of tears, and of endurance. Your quiet home does not have to be a place of isolation. It can become a sanctuary of our communion. I want to take the bitter waters of your regret and turn them into the sweet wine of my peace. The antagonist wants you to believe that grace is only for the young, for those with a whole lifetime ahead to get it right. But my grace is for you, right now, with your gray hair, your tired bones, and your beautiful, fragile heart. Do not measure the success of your life by what you have left behind, but by who you are allowing me to make you into right now. Surrender the heavy burden of trying to fix the past. Let me cover the years that felt wasted. Breathe in this fresh air of my forgiveness. You are stepping into a season where you no longer have to prove anything to anyone, not to society, not to your family, and certainly not to me. Your only task now is to receive my love and let it heal the deep, hidden fractures within your soul. Let this profound truth wash over you. The rest of your life can be the best of your life, not because of what you will accomplish, but because of the deep, unshakable peace we will finally share together. Você tem toda a razão, Lívia. Peço desculpas pelo erro. Como estávamos conversando e ajustando os comandos em português, eu acabei me confundindo e gerando o último ato no idioma errado, quebrando a regra de manter o roteiro em inglês americano. Aqui está o ato 4, reescrito rigorosamente em inglês, mantendo a densidade exigida, entre 700 e 850 palavras, o tom de Jesus falando diretamente com o público de 60 anos, e incluindo o CTA exato que você pediu nas instruções originais. Act 4, The Path of Peace, The Action Plan. My beloved child, now that we have washed the deep wounds of the past with the pure water of my grace, I want to gently take your hand and guide you through the next steps of this journey. Tomorrow does not have to be a dark mirror of your past. At 60 years old, you are not reaching the end of the line. In truth, you are crossing the threshold of a new, profound, and beautiful phase of your walk with me. The path of peace is not a steep, exhausting road that demands the physical strength you feel you have lost over the decades. On the contrary, it is a gentle walk, taken side by side with me. It is a path where I carry the crushing weight of your daily worries, and you simply enjoy the comforting landscape of my unwavering love. I want to give you a practical action plan, simple and healing steps that you can start taking this very day, right in the quietness of your home, so that my peace becomes the unshakable rock of all your remaining days. The first step of our new journey begins in the sacred stillness of your morning. Tomorrow, when you wake up, before your mind even begins to list the aches in your aging body or the old, familiar regrets of yesterday, I want you to stop, take a deep breath, speak to me, and say with all the sincerity of your spirit, "Lord, I hand over the weight of today to you. I accept your love exactly as I am." And then, when you walk slowly to the mirror, I want you to stop looking for your flaws. Stop focusing on the wrinkles that time, stress, and tears have drawn on your face. Look at yourself and see exactly what I see, a priceless masterpiece, forged in the fire of life's trials, incredibly resilient and deeply loved by me. Tell yourself, out loud, that you are forgiven. Daily, compassionate self-forgiveness is the golden key that unlocks the heavy door to your silent prison. I do not hold your past against you, and it is time you stopped holding it against yourself. The second step is to release the heavy emotional ropes that still bind you to those who have hurt you and those you feel you have disappointed. I know there are specific names and faces that bring a painful, immediate tightness to your chest. Children who have grown distant, friends who betrayed your trust, opportunities that slipped through your fingers, or words you desperately wish you could take back. Take a physical piece of paper today. Write down those persistent regrets, your hidden guilts, and the names of the people you need to forgive, especially including your own name. Then, crumple that paper tightly and throw it away. Make this a physical symbol that you are placing all of that heavy baggage entirely into my hands. You are no longer the keeper of those old debts. Let me be the restorer of all broken things. Your only job now is to let go. The space that bitterness and regret used to occupy in your chest will be immediately filled by my warming, reassuring presence. The third step is to embrace your new and true life purpose. The modern world convinced you that your value was tied to your productivity, your career success, or how much money you managed to save for retirement. But in my kingdom, the economy is based purely on love. Your greatest purpose now is to be a luminous beacon of my peace. Your home can and should become a powerful sanctuary of light in a dark world. A genuine smile to a discouraged neighbor, an affectionate call to a lonely friend, a moment of gentle patience at the grocery store. These are the eternal, daily miracles I will perform through you. You do not need to build massive empires or achieve worldly greatness. I only ask that you be a clear channel of my love. The vast wisdom you have accumulated through so much pain over these 6 decades is an incalculable treasure that the world desperately needs. Even when you feel invisible or irrelevant, my light shines magnificently through your healed wounds. Finally, guard this truth in the very center of your soul. You will never walk alone again. The crushing loneliness you feel is only a temporary illusion. In the spiritual realm, I am sitting right next to you, listening to your stories and holding your hand when the cold night falls. I immensely love your company. There is no abyss you can fall into where my grace cannot reach you. The years to come can be the sweetest of your life, not because they will be completely free of struggles, but because you have finally stopped fighting alone and allowed me to guide you. If your tired heart has found safe rest in these words today, and you are ready to leave this heavy burden behind, I invite you to seal this moment with me. Leave your burden in the comments below. Type, "I receive your peace, Lord." And please, subscribe to the channel so we can walk together every single day. There is so much healing waiting to be poured over your life. Come, rest in me, trust in my perfect love, and let me guide you back home. I love you, just as you are.